think the whole part of the success of it is we've got 3 different groups working here. We've got Keuka College, we've got the ARC, and we've got the Penn School District. And as I've talked to other college presidents and college officials, other schools might have 1 or 2 of those components, but I think we've got all 3 operating together, and I think that's what makes us truly unique.
I think one of the key components is they are integrated into a college setting. And they have sort of outgrown the high school, and not only in age, but in just their interactions with their peers. And here, they're with their peers, and their peers are very accepting. Their peers have been very helpful here. And I feel that they have gained more self-confidence here. They're not really considered in a minority here in that they are integrated with the other students. And I think they feel like they're part of something, a larger picture here than in high school.
D.R.I.V.E is a wonderful opportunity for our students, adult learners, to pursue lifelong dreams that has never been available to them prior to D.R.I.V.E. They're on campus, they're included in the campus community, so it benefits our adult learners by letting them achieve what was never possible for them before.
Well, I think it's a win-win situation for everyone. First of all, it's a win situation for the D.R.I.V.E students that are with us. But secondly, it's a win situation for our Keuka students that are working with the D.R.I.V.E students, and it gives them a chance to practice their professional training and prepare for the careers that they're moving into. But it's a great opportunity for all the other students and members of our faculty and staff to see these students operating within a higher education environment and to be sensitive to what their needs are, but also to see that they can actually perform in this kind of an environment.
Before this kind of program started, we looked at the students who were with intellectual disabilities who were leaving the high school and going out into life. There seemed to be a good bit of preparation done by the schools, but it seemed to be incomplete. And a lot of the kids who I subsequently met years after they graduated from, or left school, if they didn't graduate, they seem not to be developing lifestyles that were optimal for themselves. In some cases, they were becoming challenges to the social service agencies of the community. And it just seemed that their educational needs broadly weren't being fully addressed and weren't being really effectively done. Now, there was a very good intention on the part of the schools and the ARC to do that, but the programmatic structure wasn't there that allowed that to happen. And so I think in part what I was really hoping for was something that would transition students to the community from adolescence to adulthood that would not just address cognitive needs, but to look at the broader base of this kind of social emotional needs that many of the kids have that they didn't get fully actualized and didn't get fully met through the regular educational process. So in that sense, I think my goals or my intention with this was to build that person's sense of self and community value and a perspective on social functioning than to actually acquire specific cognitive skills.
A D.R.I.V.E Students' Day begins with person-centered planning. We really look at their goals and dreams for the future, what they want out of life, what motivates them, and what kinds of things they really enjoy doing. We take that information and create an individualized program plan that helps them work towards that goal in a very supportive environment. So everybody's day is different. Everybody's schedule is different. we have 23 students on campus going 23 different directions at all times, which can be a little difficult to manage, but it's so rewarding because the students are so motivated to work towards their goals and dreams. They don't have adults in their lives or supports in their lives telling them what they should learn. They're deciding what they should learn. All our students have to take at least one college class on campus. They're guests in the class. They don't earn college credit per se. However, they are encouraged to actively participate just as any college student does in the classroom. Keuka College is actually very unique in that they have a huge service learning component with every college class. They have such a focus on experiential education and getting their students real life experience, and that really lends itself to our program and our students. So many of them have a lot of group work projects. They do a lot of presentations in their classes. In addition to their college coursework, we have 2 special educators on campus. One is a full-time employee of Penn Central School District. The other is a full-time employee of Yates ARC, and they teach a complementary course catalog of classes that help our students work towards their goals and dreams. Things like budgeting and banking, health, wellness, and nutrition, social skills and dating, and the 4 core requirements for their continued coursework through the high school.
Well, I have the flexibility in my schedule to create classes that the students want, and that just, they come to us with ideas, and then we just build a curriculum around it. And it's stuff that they want and they need in their life.
At the beginning, some faculty were concerned. They thought, how am I going to have to change all my schedules, my plans, my lessons? What will they benefit from this? What level of competence do they need? And so I think initially a number of faculty were quite concerned about that. And what made it very successful is those faculty who had the students said, let me tell you, it works out very well. The special educators are the ones who take the lesson plans and adapt them to meet the students' needs. Some of the students attend, some of the D.R.I.V.E. students attend with a student mentor. So there's someone to kind of explain things if they need help. And so by and large, it has really involved faculty's willingness as opposed to a great deal of extra work. And that was the concern that faculty had voiced. We have all levels of varieties of ability in the classroom anyway. You have students who are very well prepared, students who are not strong readers, students who excel at writing. So to some degree, I think education today is always trying to be as universally designed as possible.
I believe I've become a better professor. I think that I've become more open to looking at lots of different learning styles, learning capacities, and the D.R.I.V.E. students have certainly lifted the bar in my classrooms for all of the students.
I mean, I always knew that Robert was learning, even though his speech wasn't there to communicate everything that he was learning, and the testing always didn't show what he was learning. But they have, the way they've got the program with the work study students and the way they work with them, the knowledge that he's accumulating from whatever he sits in on, he's like a sponge. He just absorbs it, and he's just grown.
Taking the college classes and see how they're like, and they're like challenging, but I'm learning how to do some of what the other college students do here on campus. It's freedom, and it's really enjoying to be out here with like the rest of the college students, hanging out with them and get to know them. And I made tons of friends, and because high school it was not really that many friends, so I made more out here than I did in high school.
One, we are helping them as a peer, like we're actually age appropriate, and we're helping them through classes with social interaction and with the homework that most students have to do as well. And we're also helping them like during lunch or any club activities. Some of them go to choir and stuff like that. We help them with the social interaction there. So we're kind of like their safety net. If they ever need us, we're there for them.
It was a lot of fun helping to get the students to adapt to just moving around the campus and getting, helping them adapt in the classroom. I worked with a few students who had disabilities that didn't quite allow them to, write things down as easily as other students, or, maneuver around the room as well as other students. And it was kind of fun and interesting to me to find ways to help them do it as independently as possible.
I've benefited immensely. First of all, the first thing that I would say is it completely changed my outlook and my perspective on the world. It definitely opened my eyes to diversity and people with differing abilities. and I've learned a great deal. Getting to know people based on who they are and not, you know, a stereotype or a generalization is just, you can't measure it, the value of that. And I think that's something I'll take with me forever.
We had a very unique experience being able to go to President Clinton's Global Initiative University in Miami. A peer mentor as well as a student, Helen, got to join me on the trip, and they were actually able to go on stage and receive an award from President Clinton for our work with encouraging post-secondary education programs for students with developmental disabilities. It was a phenomenal experience. And Helen, this particular student, really enjoys talking about the program and has grown so much since she's been in it. She had never been able to fly in a plane or leave New York or see the ocean, and she was able to do all of those things on the trip, which was really an amazing experience for her.
I've seen everybody grow from this experience. I've seen faculty members that have told me, you know, I didn't think I'd be able to take a D.R.I.V.E. student in my class. One faculty member, which you might have already talked to, said I was really reluctant to do this, and I have found that student adds richness into my class, and I wish I had done this before. I have seen students that have been the mentors of our D.R.I.V.E. students say, up until I actually had a personal relationship with this student, I really didn't know what I wanted to do with my life, and now I really like to dedicate myself as an occupational therapist, as a special education person, as a social worker, to really work with students with cognitive disabilities for the rest of my life. And finally, as I get a chance to interact with D.R.I.V.E. students or students with cognitive disabilities, they just add a pleasant dimension of life and a new awareness and intellectual curiosity that always makes me come away saying, boy, I've enjoyed that interaction that I've had with that particular student.